to the show.
Welcome. Thank you. Welcome you to the show.
Another episode of what? What are we doing? I'm just saying.
I was about to say it's just us, but I know it's IJS.
Right.
But yeah, I'm just saying. So what are we saying today, Warren?
I don't have anything today, so it's on you.
On me. Well, my mind is in the gutter all the time. So.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about rosebuds. What is it called? Rosebuds or flowers? What is it called? Yeah, that's the most disgusting thing ever on the planet.
Yeah, I guess for the audience, if you'll know what we're talking about, is in porn when a girl has had too much anal sex, or actually a guy.
Right, don't matter.
Whoever has had an abundance of anal sex.
Yes.
You start to have, what do you call it? What's it called?
I think it's what do they call it? Hemorrhoids. That's what I think it is.
Right. It starts to
the butthole come out.
The butthole comes out. Right.
And it does kind of look like a flower.
Yeah, it looks like a
rose. A rose,
which is disgusting.
As hell.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they have porn now for that, where people love on it.
Yes. Now again, I will say, again, nothing against anybody's flavor. That's your flavor of the month. More power to you. And
she can need a diaper by 40.
Dry Fit, the fiber blend that helps life's changes feel more natural.
Yes. 40 years old with diapers.
Because I really would love to ask about it. I'm like, are there, permanent effects from it, or is it like your body, or it'll close back up after a while? I don't know.
Right.
But you would just think that, you still got a quarter-sized butthole regardless, Because you said, let me lead it.
You got a cavern, right?
Right. Yeah.
Any man that goes down there later on is like, what the hell happened to you?
Well, here's the thing, though. If you slip and put, how we always slip.
Yeah.
And like, we the wrong hole.
Right. You wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know.
She might not even know.
She probably wouldn't even know. Well, she'll know, but she'd be like, cool with me. There we go. I guess we're doing that today.
Oh, you know what? Let me ask you. Would you date or marry an ex-porn star?
Yes, and yes.
Really? It wouldn't bother you
at all.
And 1,000 men?
Hold on. Here's the thing. If you've been with one, it's been a dick in it before mine anyway. And I don't want a virgin.
Right.
So, yeah, I think, because I'm a bit of a freak, and I have my, and I figure the more experience she got, hell, she could teach me some stuff.
Right.
So I might teach her some stuff.
It wouldn't bother you that, like, your friends or your brother-in-law or your brother could pull her up and look at
Not at all. I'd be like, hell yeah.
Really?
Pull her up, nigga. Pull her up. See what I'm saying. Pull her up. See what I got at the crib. Hey, that's bragging rights.
Be like, hey, she did that last night.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like when she does the group thing, all the guys, shit on her face.
You know what that means? If I invite you and the rest of the fellas, like, yo, we about to run through this bit.
Wow.
I don't want to use that vernacular.
How about the children? You think the children get a little messed up? With moms?
Well, I ain't making no babies with her. First of all, let's get this straight. I'm old, so I will make some babies. But that was then.
Right.
Mommy made her money.
Think about the kids in school. Hey, your mom's a whore.
Well, mommy made
there she is.
Mommy made her money.
Right.
And she'd be like, but look at these goddamn Yeezys I got on with my Gucci bag and whatever. If she still
wouldn't your child's self-esteem be tainted by the fact that mom whore?
See, but you putting the
and I said that intentionally, whore, because she is getting paid to have sex.
Right. My thing is,
professional.
Hold on. First of all, let's go back. You said if the kids show, look at your mom. You know who you should be talking to? That kid's mom. Because why the hell is that kid on porn looking at my wife or my child?
So let's fast forward to 17, right? The kids are 17.
It's still illegal. You gotta be 18.
If they're 18,
now they're adults. Who cares?
But all of us are watching
The kids
porn.
are grown. The kids are grown.
But everybody's watching porn as a teenager. Everybody watches porn.
True, with the with the accessibility of it, but nonetheless.
Anyway, I don't want like the whole school when my mom got cornholed by 12 guys and shot in the face.
Listen, it's a different era nowadays. Who cares?
I guess
actually no. Nowadays, with the whole OnlyFans things, pretty much every mom is doing it.
I'm saying.
No, not every mom.
Right.
Not every mom.
But we get it, but it's not as taboo. And it's still taboo. I mean, don't get it twisted. Like you said,
20 years ago, I lived in LA with Nicole, and Nicole, one of her first jobs was at a porn company. She was a secretary, so she would hand out the checks to the porn stars.
Mm-hmm.
And she came home one evening and said they're having a work. What do you call it? A work party where they go out. Okay. Like one of those things. What do you call it? Mm-hmm. And she asked me if I wanted to go. I said, "Oh hell yes!" You know what I mean? I was thinking, she had Jenna Jameson, Monique, and
that's my favorite.
Yeah. So and some others. So I said, "Yeah, obviously, yeah, I want to."
Right.
In my mind, I'm thinking I'm gonna go there to look like porn stars, wearing just like whatever my mind was imagining. But when we got to the park, they were just like regular people. And Monique was there with her mother and her child.
Wow.
Which took everything out of my mind. I was like, what is happening here? And Jenna Jameson was there. She was wearing jeans, a t-shirt. She had a baseball cap on and shades to hide who she was. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh, these just regular people.
Just regular people.
But I still thought it was weird that, your mom knows what you do. And she comes with you to your job there or whatever it is.
You know what mom care about?
Them
goddamn right. She paying that goddamn mortgage. Bitch keep paying this goddamn mortgage. I like the way I live off of your ass.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Literally. I love Monique. Monique is my favorite. Favorite. She ain't my favorite. She's top 10.
Monique and Medora, both of them are there.
I don't know Medora. Yeah. But I love
probably saying her name wrong.
Probably is. Yeah, M-I-D-O-R-A, I think.
Yes, R-I. Yeah.
Doreen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Monique. She performs very well. Mm-hmm. Obviously, one thing we have to take under consideration is that, albeit they are having sex, but they're not really having sex. I mean, they are, but they're performing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So all her antics are for camera. I'm quite certain most of them ain't like that in the bed for real.
I've read some of them say they don't have anal sex with their mate. But doesn't it feel like the mate's getting cheated? Like the porn stars are getting all the stuff and then like, no, I don't do that.
Right. See, mine would be have to be the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Everything you do on camera, you better do it with me. That's what I liked about you.
So would you date a porn star who was still working?
Yes.
Still working?
Yes.
She came home from 12 guys.
12, yeah.
My asshole hurt.
Asshole hurts, and I'll rub it out. What you need me to do that?
Well, you're a big guy.
Yeah, I got preparation H in gallon buckets. Because her booty is on fire. I'm gonna sue her pay. I don't feel taboo about it. Again, I ain't the first one to get it because I never want to do it a virgin ever again. Because that's too much work.
Right.
I'm not taking pride in saying, hey, I was the first one to hit it.
Yeah, I'm not looking for that either. Right. But I think it can be extreme on the other side too. A million men, I don't know if I'm.
Well, I mean, ain't doing a million men. I mean, they're probably doing a couple hundred.
A couple thousand.
I doubt that. Because first of all, in the industry, when you talk about porn, there aren't very many male stars. So they going through the same dudes. It might be a couple hundred, maybe 100.
In a year, how many did you see?
How many different guys? Yes. Or how many guys?
How many different guys?
Probably 50.
So we'll say 50 a year.
But next year is going to be the same 50 again. I mean, you might remove one, add another, but it's not like they're flipping out a whole new. I mean, not that I know many male porn stars, but again, because I don't care about the men.
Right.
I'm a guy and I really don't care. I'm like, I love to watch Jack Slayer.
Right.
I know Jack Slayer.
Right.
And what's my favorite?
Remington Steele.
Yeah. I don't know. My favorite, I can't think of it. Wesley Pipes. That's my favorite. Though.
I don't know him.
I don't think he do porn no more.
Mr. something else.
He stopped too. Mr. Marcus.
Mr. Marcus.
He had like herpes or something.
Really?
I don't know. Listen, he had something.
I remember he was on a talk show where those girls get on there with Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh, he was on The View?
He was on The View, and they asked him about the porn life and if he would want his daughter to do that. Mm-hmm. He said no.
Well, of course not.
Right.
Of course not. I mean, who would?
I was going to ask you that.
Who would? I'm not like, hey, baby, you know what? Would it be a good job for you?
Money is.
Yeah, right. You want to make some good money. I'd rather tell her to be a proctologist, not a proctologist. Who's an ass doctor? It's just we on asses.
Isn't it a proctologist?
Maybe it's a proctologist. I'd rather do that than be a porn star. If you want to look at asses,
just
go to medical school and look at folks' asses. Yeah, not take it in the ass.
But I tell you, out there in LA, it is prevalent. That's where the companies are. So you can see who owns the area. Because when I was in LA, it was a porn shop on almost every corner in the city area, which is different here.
Right.
Now, it's 20 years later. Now you see more. But back then in 2001, there wasn't that many here.
Right. There aren't very many here now.
But you go to LA, there was so many. And then on the radio, it's more like open, more liberal. Talk about getting their nipples pierced, stuff like that. And the billboards, which you don't think about because we knew about Marky Mark doing the underwear ad, but you didn't really see it.
Right.
When you go to LA, you see those kind of billboards.
Right.
Very suggestive out there. And it's just like, wow, this place is really liberal.
Right.
Yeah. It was much. And I'm liberal. And it was much. I was like, damn.
I question your liberality.
I think I might not be as liberal as I think I am. You know?
Right. Because sometimes we be talking and I'll be like, boy, you sure are stuck up.
Yeah. I'm very conservative.
You're very conservative, yeah. And I consider myself to be, I'll always say I'm a liberal conservative. I'm socially liberal.
Socially liberal.
Socially liberal.
What does that mean?
Means do you. As long as if it makes you happy, do you. I don't care.
But if you're socially liberal, that means you're not liberal somewhere else, right?
Financially.
Financially conservative.
Financially conservative. Yes. I feel we should have a budget in our country. I think we do spend too much money on stupid shit.
Yeah, but you are also a minimalist, right?
Right, which means also conservative.
Right.
Right. But when you say minimalist, I say, I'm not all this computer stuff. I can care less.
Right.
But I do have I love running shoes, so I do spend money on shoes.
Right.
But all this other extra stuff, I don't need that. It can give me a floor and a pillow. I don't need furniture.
I wanted to ask you because you just said something about do I think I'm a liberal? There's a website that we could go to. You take a short test and it actually tells you what you are.
I think
if you're a liberal or moderate or whatever.
Right.
We should check that out.
Sure. How you get to it?
Sure.
How you get to it? But anyway, because I think I did one on Facebook years ago, and I wasn't as liberal as I thought. But again, it wasn't asking a lot of social issues, but it kind of was. But it was like something I really don't care about. So I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
It was I think it put me more in the moderate. More in the moderate category than liberal, which again didn't bother me because I don't care. Again, it's just what do you call it, algorithm?
Yeah.
Hey, so Malik just mentioned, what do we think about cancel culture? I don't believe there's such thing as cancel culture. I don't. I think, then again, this is just my opinion. I say, if you're an asshole, and you kind of show that you're an asshole, then somebody can shut you up.
Right.
Because again, due to the fact that we have such ability to get our voices heard through this internet era, social media era, I think it's a good thing to expose those that need to be exposed. And if you need to be shut up because you talking crazy, if somebody said today, Dwayne, you talked about rosebuds, you need to be shut the fuck down, I wouldn't be mad. I'm not going to be mad. You know what I'm saying? But then again, maybe I would, because I'm like, I'm not talking derogatory about rosebud.
That's the problem I have, right?
Right, but I think a lot of the ones that are being shut down are being critical or overly critical or they're not being positive.
Do you think what Dave Chappelle was saying was offensive? I mean,
I'm gonna say this: I agree with Dave Chappelle. And again, I don't care. If you listen to his stand up objectively, the man said, "I respect you for what you do.
Right.
I don't have a problem with what you do,
right.
and I will address you as you want to be addressed." Now again, I'm paraphrasing. He just said, "I do believe that there's a male and a female gender." It's a fact.
Right.
If you can't push a baby out, again, not to say those women, because there are women with ovaries and never had children.
Right.
But if you were a man and transformed to a woman, I'm gonna call you, in my eyes, you're a woman. In your eyes, you're a woman. But what I will say is, you're not the same as that woman that pushed the baby out.
Right.
Because you're not. Genetically, you're not. Biologically, you're not.
Right.
But I still respect your choice of being a woman, and I'll call you woman all day. And like you said at the end, I'll tell her how great her father was.
Yeah, that's the only problem I have is I don't mind them coming up with the shem and the zers, and I'm a herd, I'm this, that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I don't agree with is forced participation. I don't call that freedom.
I consider it to be more free.
Well, if you're forced to do something, it's not.
No. You're not forced to do it, but you are asked
to do it is fair.
To acknowledge
Right.
them as what they are. Right.
But being forced, like Canada, it's against the law if you don't respect their zers and
Right. And that's what
Is it a hate crime?
What's the man's name?
Is it considered a hate crime?
Probably, I don't know.
Well, but that's on the business side, not social side. So, but I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I work for a company, I want to be called Zer. Respect my right to be called Zer. Don't be like, I don't agree with that, man. You see what I'm saying?
Then we're going down that gray area of where does my freedom lead to appease your want?
I don't think theirs is a want. Again, I think it's a mental. And I don't want to say it's wrong. People say they have a mental issue. I'm not saying.
I do.
I'm not.
I mean, obviously it's mental because they feel like
right. But I'm not saying. I'm not saying
in a negative way.
Right. So I don't have a problem with addressing them as they want to be addressed. I think it takes too much effort for me to be like, I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
As opposed to be like, hey, sir. Hey, Shim. Hey, that.
Or you could just say.
Or I could just say, hey, and leave it alone.
Right.
And therefore, but if you want to be like, hey, guy.
Right.
And therein lies, you see what I'm saying?
Confrontation.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
Exactly. So I think it more lies on you as an individual. If you want to just blow it up, but no, I'm not going to refer to them. And then you're the one that's really causing the problem. And I think you're the one being more restrictive. I'm not talking about you, but the individual being more restrictive and being more controlling.
Right.
Than saying, no, we want to respect the fact that, and yes, you should. And again, you don't have to say. You can say, hey, how are you doing? Now, they may be like, well, I'm not a they. I'm a they.
That's getting weird.
That's a little weird, but...
How could they be a they?
Well, because they figure so... Male, I prefer... I don't know. But they do consider to call themselves they. I call myself they. When I heard that, I said, that is such an oxymoron. I call myself that. It was in a commercial, actually. It was a commercial. I forget what it was for. It was for a job interview, and the guy said, "He my pronouns are he, me, whatever, and what are yours?" And the other person said, "Well, I go by they, them." And I said, "Well, how do you put an I, which is a singular,
right?"
And then for I prefer to be called they, them. But it should have been we. Prefer to be called they, them.
Self-confusing.
Right. Right. And it was a commercial, and I sat there like, did they realize what you just did with that commercial?
Right.
Now, again, I appreciated the commercial. You know, I'm not saying what gender or whatever, just that the individual, the interviewer, respected their, but it was just funny to say I, they.
I just think we're going down slippery slope, but we'll see where we go.
Everything balances itself out eventually.
I'll do all of that post-op. I'm not doing this pre-op.
What are you talking about?
Post-operation.
Yeah.
You doing all of what post-op?
He said he's basically saying he will respect their wishes, how they want to be called after the operation.
But they may not want the operation.
Right.
Then you're...
Well, you know, there are some transgenders who appreciate things. They feel like a woman, but they still...
At that point, I just consider you gay, and not a woman.
So, listen, I was watching... So we're going back to porn again. You know, let me talk about porn.
How did this go?
No! Because I was watching this porno, and this motherfucker was fine as hell. With about a 10-inch dick. Fine as hell.
Now, would you consider that to be a girl or a guy?
Man, listen,
I'll say that's a guy.
It's a guy.
Right.
But she was fine as a motherfucker. Fucking the shit out of this dude. Wait. I was good. That's why I was confused as hell. I was sitting there like, I don't know how to appreciate this. I'm appreciate her.
Right.
For who she is and what she do.
Right.
Now, Buddy, on the other hand, I'm looking at this nigga like, what is your problem? But again, if you look deep, you're like, oh, that's a dude.
Right.
But hair, nails, makeup, boob job, nice titties, tatted all up, fine, slim waist, obviously, because you're a man. 10-inch dick.
If you was dating someone or met someone at the club and got home and had a penis,
Yeah, she getting punched in the face.
I'm not.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't punch her in the face.
Right.
But we would have to have a conversation. It really is no conversation.
I would be offended. And
Yeah.
You'd have to.
And then they actually defend that. Why do I have to tell you?
Because I need to know.
That is some solid.
Because now if we want to play to him, her, I'm a cis male.
Mhm.
You got to respect my belief in being a cis male, and I don't want to be and not only cis but also heterosexual.
Right.
Right, I'm a heterosexual cis male, so you can't be fraudulent and then
they consider you transphobic.
I am not transphobic. I just don't want to be with a trans. I appreciate. Listen, did I just say that lady was beautiful as hell with her 10-inch dick? She was fine in the moment. Take off the 10-inch dick, we could do some things, but I'm just not into. Hey, shit. She had a 10-inch dick.
Type in on Google. Type in political compass test.
Political.
Now you gonna have me type that. You're like that, but I don't know how to type. There you go. Political. I spelled it wrong and everything. But thank you, Google, for correcting me. Okay, and then the test, the political compass. Let's see. If economic globalism is inevitable, which it is, it should primarily serve humanity rather than the interests of transnational corporations. I strongly agree. I would always support my country, whether it was right or wrong. I disagree. No one chooses their country of birth, so it's foolish to be proud of it. I disagree. Race has many superior qualities compared to other races. I strongly disagree. That's some racist ass shit. Any of my friends. I agree. I mean, that's just, ain't that Sun Tzu or something? What's his name? The Art of War guy?
Yeah.
Military action that defies international law is sometimes justified. I disagree. I'm not going to go strongly, but I will disagree from so. There is now a worrying fusion of information and entertainment. I agree. And again, why I agree with that one is because I think there are too many voices. Some voices need to be told to shut up.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it could be mine. I'm not upset. But, some can be heard. People are ultimately divided more by class than by nationality. I agree. I strongly agree. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. I strongly disagree. I don't know. That's a weird one. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. Because inflation causes unemployment.
Mm-hmm.
But here's because this is why inflation is made up.
Right.
What they consider inflation is because too many people get money.
Is what they presume, right?
Right. It's because there's too much money spread out.
Right.
So we need to let's raise prices because everybody got money.
Right.
Like that's so. I don't know where to answer that because if you controlled inflation, would that create more jobs?
You can control inflation in capitalism, can you?
Of course you can.
You can tell them. You
No. Well, obviously, here's the thing: inflation is a man-made thing. It's not derived off of anything.
Right. So how do you control
So
that?
and here's the problem with it: because it's greed.
Right.
So it's too much money floating around. The ones that want all the money ain't making as much no more, or aren't getting as much because it's spread too thin.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, well, let's tighten stuff up,
Right.
raise interest rates,
Right.
so we can make more money. That's really all it is. And what it does is it knocks out the little guy. So here's an example.
Yeah.
So let's say, and I use as an example, the price of potatoes go up.
Mm-hmm.
So the mom and pop store, that corner store can't afford to sell potatoes or buy the potatoes at the rate because they lose money.
Right.
And even though Walmart might take a hit,
Right. They can take that.
they can take that hit.
Right.
So then it gets rid of the mom and pop stores,
Mm-hmm.
and now we can drop inflation back because the ones that's making all the money is back to making all the money again.
Right.
So that's a dumb. I don't like that question. Controlling inflation is more important than controlling unemployment. I'm gonna agree. I'll have to agree, I guess, because corporations cannot be trusted to voluntarily protect the environment they require. Yes, I strongly agree. Oh, I didn't finish the question. They require regulation. Strongly agree. From each according to his ability to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea. So, again, these questions give you a lot to talk about. From each according to his ability to each according to his need is a fundamentally good idea. So, do we make amends for those who lack ability? Or do we say, oh, well, you can't do shit, so you don't get shit?
Right. It's like, hey, it's on you, buddy.
Right. I mean, and again, because we have, people with, physical, physical disabilities. If you only got one leg, obviously your abilities aren't as good as mine with two functioning legs. So, is it saying that due to you, your needs are less than? I'm going to have to disagree. I'm going to disagree with that. I don't. The free market, the freer the market, the freer people. Then again, it's the caveat with that. The freer the market, the freer people. I agree. I do agree with that. We do need a free market.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is, all of those who say about a free market still make regulations to help those who are larger than the smaller. So I do agree with that. I'm going to stop putting on what it is. I'm going to say I agree. Mm-hmm. It's a sad reflection in our society that something as basic as drinking water is now a bottled, branded consumer product. I strongly agree. Water should be free for everybody. It came down free. Yeah. Why are you trying to own it? Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. I disagree.
Oh.
Land shouldn't be a commodity to be bought and sold. I disagree. I disagree. Because we do need some type of ownership. Because if it's mine, it's my property. I don't want you stepping on it.
Right.
I don't want you taking my stuff just because you say, oh, it's now. So shit. I agree. It is regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing to society. I disagree with that. Everybody that made money came with the idea to bring a product to the people that they thought was valuable, to some degree. To some degree. I always use the example of the Pet Rock. I don't know if you remember the Pet Rock. I don't remember the Pet Rock.
Yeah.
Back when we was younger, the Pet Rock.
Yeah.
As dumb as that was, but I'm like, hey, if you can sell a rock,
right?
Sell a rock.
I'm not making you buy it.
But, right. So is it regrettable that many personal fortunes are made by people who simply manipulate money and contribute nothing? Hey, if you want to buy it, buy it. And it goes back to that free market system. You don't have to buy it. Mm-hmm. Anybody forcing you to buy it. You choose to buy it.
Do we look at protectionism as some type of necessary?
No, that was the next one.
That's weird. What does that mean?
Protection shit.
It's sometimes necessary in trade, like hiring bodyguards.
Yeah, I guess, but it makes sense to me. I mean, because
I'm pretty sure we're missing the mark.
Yeah, maybe we need to look at what the word protectionism mean.
Yeah, what is protectionism?
What is protectionism?
Let's see, define.
And one thing, Warren, I always go back and forth with is the dictionary. The definition of things.
Right.
He'd be like, well, it says that. It said what it said. What does it really mean what it said?
Protectionism is the economic policy of restricting imports from other countries through methods such as tariffs on imported goods, import quotas, and a variety of other government regulations.
I agree. Because it is. I mean, if you want to protect the economic system of your country, it only makes sense to put tariffs in. And again, we talk about with China, because I mean, when we talk about employment, when in what is it in the baby boom era, World War II, yada yada yada, wasn't a whole lot of import exports. We were really one of the larger exporters actually.
Right.
But our economy was big. But now we allowed the businesses to leave because they wanted cheaper rates. And again, I'm from the Rust Belt. Why is it a Rust Belt? Because the fucking steel companies left.
What does that mean, Rust Belt?
It's where all the steel companies used to be. And they moved overseas. And if you leave steel sitting out in the weather, nothing turns into rust.
Right.
So I'm from the Rust Belt. And when I grew up, my town was booming.
Right.
Then the steel companies left. And went fuck overseas. So the whole town went to...
Same thing with my town.
Right.
I'm from New London.
Yeah.
And we used to make... there's a company called Electric Boat. They make all the submarines. And then they took a heavy hit. And then my town became part of Ghost Town.
Yeah. One of the things that hurt my heart so bad, because I remember looking at U.S. Steel.
Mm-hmm.
All my family worked for the steel company, except for my dad. But all my uncles worked for the steel company. The whole city was based on, U.S. Steel.
Right.
I went to Korea when I joined the military. Went to Korea and saw a U.S. Steel sign in fucking Korea. That shit pissed me off. Because when I left Youngstown in 84, it was already dilapidated. It's only gotten worse since then. Because there are no jobs. There's nothing.
Right.
There's no economy. I was listening to this guy. He was saying that the houses in Youngstown, the bricks because a lot of houses are brick made of bricks. The bricks of the house are worth more than the house itself. If you tore the house down and sold it by the bricks,
right,
you could make more money
than
selling the house.
Isn't that crazy?
Crazy as hell.
So do you think that there should be a law stopping companies from...
Yes. Yes, I do.
But Dave Chappelle said, why are we doing like iPhones here so it can cost $10,000?
Oh, I'm going to go to China and I'm going to get those jobs from China and bring them back here to America. For what, nigga? So iPhones can be $9,000? Leave that job in China where it belongs. None of us want to work that hard.
See,
because the price will go up. It's weird. It's weird, right?
It is weird. It is weird.
Right.
It is weird, and we have to look at what. Then you have to ask yourself, do you really need iPhone? But it's really weird. It is weird.
Right.
It is really weird.
And then we step into the area where we're telling companies where they can cannot have their facility.
Right. I just feel and see again. Trump even said it. Obama said it first, but I'm a placate to the Trumpers.
Mm-hmm. When
Trump was like, if you're leaving America, we're going to tax you and tariff you and you need to bring you back to America.
Right.
Obama said the same thing. And they was like, oh, he's anti-American, he's anti-free market. But when Trump said it,
it was right.
It was good.
Right.
This is about building America.
Right.
So I do fall in that line where it's conflicting. I get your point. If the iPhone, but it may not cost $10,000 or whatever. Because here's the thing, we are a large consumer as well.
Right.
So it may control the price.
And they don't really mean what they say either, because I remember that Trump was on, I think it was David Letterman, and he was saying the same thing. And then earlier, right before he said that, he had mentioned his tie. And then David Letterman said, where's your tie made?
Right.
And he showed his tie, and his tie was made in China. Right.
Beautiful ties.
They are great ties.
The ties are made in where? China? Ties are made in China.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're saying one thing,
right?
But you're doing
the exact opposite. Right. Yeah, that was one of even his MAGA hats. They weren't made in America either.
Really?
Yeah. Those MAGA hats weren't made in America. The only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. I strongly disagree. Strongly disagree. The rich are too highly taxed. I strongly disagree. Those with the ability to pay should have access to higher standards of medical care. I disagree. I don't know if I'm going to strongly disagree. Government should penalize businesses that mislead the public. I strongly agree. A genuine free market requires restrictions on the ability of predator multinationals to create monopolies. I disagree. How do you have a free market but you have restrictions?
Oh, on the ability of a predator.
Right. Disagree. All right, let's go to the next one. How many pages is this thing? Oh, 6. We're on page 3. 6. Abortion, when the woman's life is not threatened, should always be illegal. I strongly disagree. Because here's my thing. That's one of my hot topics. I am pro-choice. I'm pro-choice on the ballot. I'm pro-life in my household.
Same.
Right. Because I ain't got the right to tell what a woman do to her body. That is not for me to say.
Right.
Now, if it's my baby, I feel I have a voice. But she should always have the liberty to do what she wants to with her body.
Right.
So I've never been one to say abortion should be illegal. As terrible as it may sound.
Right.
I go all the way to third trimester. As horrible as that sounds, because it is horrible. Third trimester, I'm with because hold on, here's the thing, we always want, who gonna take care of that child?
Yeah, but I guess
I know it's murder.
we're in the area of.
I know. I'm not disagreeing. I know it's murder.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes
murder is good.
it's better than having them living.
I don't think the child would agree with you. Ask a person would they rather be dead. Generally speaking.
Generally, well, it's based on lifestyle. How many of us have thought about committing suicide? Suicide is a real thing.
It is.
It is.
But it's not the majority of people.
No, it isn't the majority, and neither is third trimester abortions.
Right.
Hell, not even abortion in and of itself isn't a majority.
Right.
Right. So
I can't say that the child would be better off dead in the third trimester.
I get it. It's horrible as it sounds.
Right.
Because it is terrible. Because that is a actual living person. Right.
When can we say that's the big argument? When do we say it is a person? Because they're talking about fertilized egg.
Right. That's why I'm not gonna play with strings here. That's why I said third trimester.
Wow.
Because in actuality, week 1, day 1.
Is it a person?
It's a person. It's a person in development.
In development.
In development, but it's still. You know what it ain't? A rock.
Well, you know what? Let me say this. Right? You said in development.
Yeah.
A film in development is not a film. It's not a movie. You can't watch a film in development.
But it's still a protected product.
Hmm?
It's still a protected product, even though it's in finished.
No.
How do you figure?
In what way do you mean protected?
What I'm saying is that if you did a film,
Mm-hmm.
right, and you shot it and you never edited it, nothing.
Right.
Nothing. You just left it raw.
That's after production.
I'm saying you just shot it.
Mm-hmm. That's production. That's supposed. When you shoot a film, that's after production. Development is just talking about it, getting it together, people getting in.
Okay.
Even,
and that could be a protected product too, because the script is a protected product.
But it's not a film.
Okay.
See, so
but that's like jacking off. It's not a baby.
Right.
But once you put it on camera or whatever on film, it's a film whether it's completed or not. It's the same way I ejaculate. Once you video it.
Yeah, but that's not in development. You're not videotaping anything in development.
No, what I'm saying, you're saying a film isn't a film until it's finished.
No, I'm saying.
Or are you saying?
I'm just talking about the word you use, in development.
Right.
That's not a baby, right? Or unless you want to say sperm is a person.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Or maybe I used the wrong choice of words there, or maybe that's what we're twisting our words with it.
Right.
From inception, it's a person.
So once the sperm fertilizes the egg,
it's a person.
You say it's a person.
It's a person.
That means every time a woman has loses the baby, and like when does it that we should have a funeral or name?
They do.
Do they?
They do.
Who do?
People. So I tell the story about it. So a young lady at my job, when I was working at I was military. She was pregnant.
Right.
She lost the baby.
Mm-hmm. First trimester?
It might have been her second. It's probably the second trimester.
So I'm talking about fertilized egg.
I will say, let me talk this personally. I don't know how far Kim was though, but my wife lost a son, lost our son, and she might have maybe she was about 4 or 5 months. She might have been second trimester. But anyway, he had fingers.
Yeah.
And why I say he? Because he had a dick.
Right.
He had no eyes.
Right.
But he had ears. I mean, it was this big. It was in my palm of my hand. It was this big.
Right.
But it was a person. Now, with that being said, she could legally have an abortion because she wasn't in her.
She was in
the second trimester.
You don't have abortion.
I think you have an abortion. You can't in the second. I don't know.
It has in the second trimester. I believe something has to be detrimental to you. Mm-hmm. Like if you continue this route, your child will be brain damaged or it could kill you. Then you have a choice of that. But I'm just leaning on the moment the egg fertilizes, it gets fertilized.
Again, in my opinion, that's a person. That's a person.
Right. So every time those girls flush that thing down the toilet,
they
flush the baby, they flush a person down the toilet?
Yes, to a degree. I mean, I don't know if they because when they're impregnated, they're not flushing nothing down the toilet.
Because a lot of people get the egg gets fertilized and it doesn't pass and then it gets flushed, right?
Oh yeah, I mean,
so
no, then you're confusing me. So she had a miscarriage.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's a person.
That's a person. But I'm saying it's a miscarriage. Wherever it is, my wife had a miscarriage.
And that's a person.
I looked at my son.
Not yours. Inception, right?
Yes. And you're still confusing
because at inception, there's no legs, there's no arms, there's nothing. It's just an egg that just got fertilized.
But after about a week or two, it got a head, even though it still got the tail, but it's developing a body. It's not looking like a sperm cell and an egg sitting like this, wiggling.
So, are you saying the person once it starts looking like something other than
I'm
egg?
saying
Or
yes. Once it.
So you're saying the egg fertilized, even though it still looks like an egg, is still a person?
Yes. Because what is it other than? Because it's a person. Because when it comes out as a person.
So it was just an egg before it got fertilized. As soon as it gets fertilized, it's now
a person. Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
So, but again, going back to what I was saying, I ain't got a problem up to the third trimester. I don't care because it's not my choice. Now, for my house,
right,
we would have an argument. Now, would I call her a baby killer? Probably not. But
you would in the third trimester.
I wouldn't call her a baby killer. No, because she may not be ready to take care of that child. And I know it's terrible. Someone's like, "Oh, you want to kill babies?" I don't want to kill babies.
I would say you're killing a baby.
You are. You're killing a baby. Period.
What do you mean, period?
If you're having an abortion, you're killing a baby.
I think we have to go.
Whether it's in the first 3 months or the last 3 months, you're still killing a baby.
I don't know if I agree with that.
So you're saying it's not a baby in the first 3 months?
No, I don't. I think there's a gray area where I think science has to determine when an embryo is a human.
So let's use baking. So you take the flour and the water and the yeast and you pull it together. You roll it and you flip it and you get it all blended. As long as you don't put it in the oven, it's not bread, right?
It's dough.
Right.
Right.
As soon as you put it in the oven, what is it now?
Dough.
So it's okay to take it and say that's not bread. Because it's just dough.
Hey,
so maybe that's where you.
It's a gray area, right?
Right. So for you,
when is it a cake?
What is it? What is it? Right. I say
because you can't take it out and eat that shit. You can't say I'm gonna take it out and eat this cake.
Right.
Right.
You can't.
That's dough.
You're right, but
you get sick.
It's still bread. You can't eat cake. I'm using bread.
Right.
It's still bread.
Right. But you can't eat it because it's not bread. You can't serve it. If you came over my house and I put that on the table, you'd be like, "What the hell's wrong with Warren?" What do you say? Like, Warren loses his mind? I'd be sitting like,
I guess so. But
Dwayne, eat up this hearty cornbread I made. He's like, okay, he's losing his mind.
That's batter or whatever, like you said,
right.
Dough.
Right.
So when does it become bread? After it's baked.
Right. This is weird.
Right.
I don't have an answer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, neither do I. That's why I say. I'm not in line to tell nobody.
The third trimester. I mean, it has everything.
Bruh.
It has everything.
Bruh.
You're literally killing somebody for the third trimester.
I feel the same in the first trimester, though. That's what I'm saying.
So how do we get the truth? That's what we need.
I don't know if there's a truth.
Well, science has to have an answer. Let me see what science says.
Well, I say inception is a child.
When the hell is the baby a baby? Answer me.
Google,
answer me.
As soon as that sperm cell travel all the way through that egg, baby.
All right. Search is on. Your developing fetus has already gone through a few name changes in the first few weeks of pregnancy. Generally, it's called an embryo from conception until the 8th week of development. After the 8th week, it's called a fetus until it's born.
It's a slippery slope. I mean, because one can say, like you're saying, well, what you're saying, science saying, so up to 8 weeks, it really ain't nothing.
Right. It's considered a fetus.
After 8 weeks. No, it's an embryo, then it's a fetus. So up to 8 weeks, it's an embryo, correct?
Let's read it again. Your developing fetus has already gone through a few name changes in the first few weeks of pregnancy. Generally, it's called an embryo from conception until the 8th week of development.
Right.
After the 8th week, it's called a fetus until it's born. Right. So it's an embryo.
Right.
So 8th week.
Right.
Can we agree on that?
Agree with what?
That what the hell is an embryo? I mean, now I got to say
So I still say, so I guess it's like if you ate, when you eat an egg, obviously you're not eating a chicken.
Oh, that's a good question. Are we eating a chicken? And Malik, are you eating a chicken when you eat a scrambled egg?
Well, let's just say a fertilized egg.
Am I eating a chicken when I'm eating a scrambled egg?
Yeah. No. Are we? It's a chicken egg.
I'm saying, well, I would say this. I would say this.
Pause. To get a baby chick, the egg must be fertilized.
Right.
That's what we eat aren't fertilized.
Right. But that's where I was going to switch it and say, if you ate a fertilized egg,
then yes,
then are you eating a chicken?
Yes.
But it's still a yolk.
But it's a live embryo.
So it's an actual chicken.
Yeah.
So it goes back to, again, you said an embryo, I say it's a person.
Yeah, but one is not fertilized, one is fertilized.
Right.
Right?
So if you ate your woman when she on her period,
that's disgusting.
You didn't eat a person. You just ate an egg.
You just ate an egg.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because she's getting rid of the egg. If you
it's not an egg, it's like layers of it.
Yeah, whatever, yeah. But anyway, it's the same. It's just, get rid of the egg. But if you went to the doctor, had to suck it out, and you ate it, then you eat the baby. That's terrible. That's terrible. Because obviously we don't eat. Well, maybe you ain't got your Red Wings, but I do.
No, I don't want
Yeah. Don't look this way.
Wait.
Only you.
I'm the only one who got some Red Wings.
Yes.
Oh, flake it. See that I would date.
I don't even have sex when someone's on their period.
Oh my God! Put some water on it.
No, that's disgusting.
Put some water on it.
No.
Put them in the tub.
No.
All you gotta do is put them in the tub.
I don't like to play in the mud.
And sometimes that mud is water, extra lubrication.
What's wrong with you?
You just put a towel down. All you gotta do is put a towel down.
Oh God!
All authority should be questioned. Yes, strongly agree.
Pause.
Absolutely.
No, you don't. Because if your child questions your authority, what's your reaction?
So I'm taking this off of a government standpoint, not my house. Again, like I said, in my house, I'm conservative than a mother.
Mm-hmm.
Socially, I'm very liberal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You better not question my authority. Or you can. You have a right to question my authority. You also have a right to get the fuck out.
This is good. Because he's always questioning authority. He's a rebel.
You have an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. I disagree because we all be blind with no teeth. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters. What? Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive. You say it slowly. Taxpayers should not be expected to prop up any theaters or museums that cannot survive on a commercial basis. I disagree. Strongly disagree. We need theaters and museums. Art is a beautiful thing. Schools should not make classroom attendance compulsory. They should. But the problem with that, we have to go back to actually how broken our school systems are, because they're based on tax dollars. The areas that that pay more money in taxes or are more affluent get more money for their schools.
And the problem is also that the teachers are not by the teachers' fault.
Right.
They don't do what they're trained to do. But sometimes it comes up with talking at them and not to them.
Right.
Because the kids just seem so dejected.
Schools should make classroom attendance compulsory. I'm gonna have to agree. I think we should make them compulsory. All people have their rights, but it's better for all of us that different sorts of people should keep whatever. I ain't gonna finish reading that. Strongly disagree. I couldn't even read. Good parents sometimes have to spank their children. Hoo-hoo!
Oh boy.
Hoo-hoo!
That's a hot
Good
topic.
parents sometimes have to spank their children.
I disagree.
Of course you disagree. I would say this, the younger Dwayne would be like, I strongly agree.
Right.
Because I have spanked my children.
I did too.
I was raised on spanking.
I was raised on spankings as well.
But the 53-year-old Dwayne...
In retrospect, I don't know if it really helped.
Right, I don't know if it really helped.
Right. It's like, if you spanked your child once and it completely deterred that action, then you would say, well, obviously it works.
Right.
But if you have to keep spanking throughout the
Right.
years, obviously this isn't working.
Well, one would say, well, they're not repeating the action; they're just finding more actions for you to spank them for.
Right, unless you're spanking for the same action.
Unless you're spanking them for the same action.
And in my case, it's always the same action.
I would say in mine it wasn't the same action, but there were. I would never say this because, albeit I'm a firm believer of giving a kid a whooping. Sometimes they just need a whooping.
My kids only got spanked for the same reason. That's why I knew it wasn't working. That's when I stopped.
Well, maybe those are the reasons you cared about.
Lying and but it was repeated, right? Lying and stealing.
It's really hard. Well, shit. It's really hard to stop humans from lying and stealing.
Right. So spanking don't work then.
Well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Talking back. If that's not a problem for you, it's a problem for me.
Right.
You get spanked in the mouth.
Right.
You better not do it again. It don't take really but one or two times.
Well, we're talking about your temperament, right? But
right.
What I'm saying is, if you pop them in the mouth and they stop talking back to you, then you would say that worked.
Right.
But if you find yourself like, they're 12 and still spanking them, then I don't see how it's working.
Yeah, that's a slippery slope. Because again, young Dwayne would be like, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like my mama told me, I whoop you because I love you.
Right.
And to me, it made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was the recipient of the whooping. Mm-hmm. Because I look around and I'm like, well, at least I ain't in jail or, well, I ain't gonna say I'm in jail, but I'm not in jail. I look back on those and be like, a lot of them I deserved.
Right.
A lot of them I deserved.
Right.
Because I wasn't a good kid.
I was a good kid.
Yeah,
at least
wasn't.
in the eyes of my parents.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Right.
And maybe in the eyes of my parents, they might say I was.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't.
Right.
Because if all the stuff that I actually did.
Right. I stopped spanking my daughter at like 2. Now I got spanking at 2. Took her to Walmart to put her in one of those little automated cars to see if she liked it. And she loved it. So I said, oh, great, I'll buy it. And then I took her out and she lost her mind. Kicking and screaming. So I spanked her in the butt. And then she's crying. She stopped. I'm crying too. And I said, I can't do this shit. and then I was done. But I still use fear though.
Right.
Now Malik got spanked a lot, and Trey got spanked, and Clark got dealt with.
I was gonna say,
but what I'm saying is, I still was able to curtail a lot of Nandi's behavior without spanking her. But I did use fear.
Right.
I did use I'm gonna get my belt.
Right.
Or get spanking.
Right. Give him the threat. Give him the threat. Right.
I never really.
Right. Yeah. Because that's the way it was my 10-year-old. I mean, I don't think I whooped her. Period.
Right.
But she I don't want one though.
Right.
Right. Because she gets threatened with it.
And with that, my daughter now has a daughter, and she started out saying, I'm not going to spank my daughter, and now she spanks her daughter because the threshold of trying to get someone to stop doing something that might get them put them in danger, like putting their finger in the socket. You have to curtail it quickly.
Right.
It's not something you want to keep saying. I said no.
Or you could just let them put their finger in their socket and get the shit shocked out of them.
You could do that
because it happened to me.
Right.
Yeah.
So
thrown across the room. I remember it.
Right.
I was 2.
Right.
I remember it, and I'm 53. I remember getting thrown across the damn room.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
I took a safety pin and stuck it in the outlet. I didn't get a whooping for it though.
Right. You didn't need one.
Right.
The electricity.
Right. I never ever. I still have trepidation. Like, well, I want to make sure I stick this in. Which one is the fat end? I can do get the fat end. Just get in. Yep. Even though we know it don't fit, the one is a ground. But nonetheless, right. I'm not shaving with this electricity stuff on. Let me unplug it while I shave. Because I don't want the water to get there. Even though I don't have an electric razor.
Right. And the ones over your sink are supposed to be made for water protection.
I guess. Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna have to agree. I'm going to agree. Even though I'm not an advocate for spanking personally.
But see what it says though? But it's manipulative. Good parenting.
Good parenting.
That's why I'm like, come on.
But so I'm still going to agree because I was raised on it. I was raised on it. I'm not going to say it made me a better person. I'm not going to say it made me a worse person. What I will say is that was a technique they used. If you can find a better way to do it, but I'm not going to say you're a bad parent for spanking your children.
But can you say someone's a bad parent for not spanking their child?
Yes.
You think they're a bad parent? They don't spank the children?
If their child is running around acting crazy.
No.
No. Here's the thing.
Right.
If you're not controlling your child, whatever means you use.
Right.
So I guess I would say no. I'm
Right.
not going to say that you're a bad parent for not spanking your child. No.
Because Nadia's
Right.
a good product.
Right.
She's a good person.
Right.
And I didn't spank her.
Right. And like I said, my 10-year-old, she's a good child
Right.
as of now. She's only 10.
Right.
And she's never, not from me.
Right.
Ever.
I'm a menace, and you did whoop me. What does
Right.
that say?
Right. And like I said, I was a menace. And I got whooped. I got whooped every day.
Yeah,
It's natural for children to keep some secrets from their parents. Strongly agree.
that person's natural.
Well, that's human. Possessing marijuana for personal use should not be a criminal offense. I strongly agree.
Thank you.
The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs. I disagree.
What was the question?
The prime function of schooling should be to equip the future generation to find jobs. And I disagree. The purpose of schooling should be for you to find yourself.
It's education.
You got to learn
Absolutely.
ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, but not to be a cog in the wheel.
My mom sent me to Clark, Atlanta after the first year I came back. I had my ears pierced.
Mm-hmm.
I was into the Rastafarian faith. I no longer went with church.
Mm-hmm.
And she was so angry. She was like, I sent you down there. You went down there and went crazy. So I said, I told her, I said, Mom, if you're paying to send your child to school for higher education and they come back with the same exact beliefs they had before they left,
Right.
you should ask for your money back.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean?
Or you wasted your money.
You wasted your money. and that's when I realized at a certain point, which I told people now, I said, black people, maybe all people,
Mm-hmm.
don't send, or I'll say working class
Mhm.
parents,
Mm-hmm.
they send their kids to college not for an education,
No.
but to get a
To
better job. Right.
Exactly.
When originally it was just to get a higher
Higher
education.
education.
Right. So
Get more knowledge.
you should expect them not to come home thinking the same thing.
I would hope you don't.
Otherwise, they would.
What's the purpose?
Send them to technical school.
Right, exactly. Which we used to have, but we don't anymore. People with serious inheritable disabilities should not be allowed to reproduce.
Wow, that's offensive.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
It's like weed them out, right?
right.
Euthanize them. Is that what it's saying? That's
No, what is it? What is it? What do they call it?
Breed out.
No. I'm gonna sound so stupid. Somebody will be like, that nigga though. Never mind. I'm gonna move on. But anyway, when nature
Right.
kills the weaker.
Yeah. For evolution.
No, it's not evolution. Huh?
Natural selection.
Natural
There you go.
selection.
Natural selection. Yeah.
Natural selection.
There you go. Yeah. But I'm gonna disagree with that because we are weeds and animals. I'm not gonna strongly disagree, but I'm just gonna disagree.
So, wait.
Wow.
I know, right?
Shocking.
That's terrible. That's terrible. The most important thing for children to learn is to accept discipline. Ooh, that's a tough one. It's whether to accept discipline or is it to understand they need to be disciplined. I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna strongly agree.
I'm gonna agree.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. That's a tough one, though. There are no savage and civilized peoples. There are only different cultures. Strongly agree. Strongly agree. Those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity should not expect society's support. I strongly agree.
I agree. See, that's another catchy one. I'll say I agree, because those who are able to work and refuse the opportunity
Right.
should not expect society's. Oh, yeah.
Right.
If you refuse the opportunity,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
So what are you doing?
When you are troubled, it's better not to think about it, but to keep busy with more cheerful things. I'm going to disagree because a lot of times we let our troubles fester, and sometimes you just got to let them out. Now, again, I am one of those though. When I'm troubled, I do my best not to think about it and just find a way to be the duck. But it's still there.
Right. Maybe there's something I'm talking about.
Right.
Talk to someone you trust.
Someone you trust. Exactly. I don't trust you. I just talk to myself some damn time. I do, and I don't even trust my damn self. First generation immigrants can never be fully integrated within their new country. I don't think they should be.
That's all Americans, isn't it?
Right, but I don't know where to put that. I don't know whether I agree or disagree with it.
First generation immigrants.
Right, can never be fully integrated within their new country. But why should they be?
Because, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger. He really wanted to run for president, but he can't.
Right, obviously can't. Right.
It's not naturalized.
Right.
I vote for him over Trump.
Definitely. I just want to be
So many, now these rules are in the way of having a better situation.
But I'm looking at it from because again that's a law.
Right.
You have to be a natural born citizen to be.
But that'd be the first Republican vote I'd ever cast. I'd vote for Schwarzenegger.
I voted for Bush.
Which one?
W.
You voted for the second one?
I voted for W.
Oh, okay. Against who? Who was you running against?
Shit, I don't remember. Kerry and that is terrible. Isn't it?
Yeah.
But he ran against Kerry. Right, which shows the Democratic Party, right? Which I am a Democrat, I think.
I don't know who I am. We'll find out.
Right. I don't. Can I get a? I don't know. Can I get an NA in this? I'm going to disagree.
I disagree too.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree. What's good for the most successful corporation is always ultimately good for us. Strongly disagree. No broadcasting institutions, however independent its content, should receive public funding. I disagree. Because then they get rid of they'll get rid of Sesame Street.
Right. And we like Sesame Street.
I love Sesame. PBS is a good thing. We do need a public broadcasting system. And this is again my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we as much as we love HBO and Netflix and blah 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 blahs.
Right.
They all about making money.
Yeah.
That's all it's. If it don't make money, they ain't broadcasting. Right.
Right.
We do need something like PBS. It don't make no money.
Mm-hmm.
But I was raised on a loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter.
But who pays for that stuff? Though?
We do. Our tax stuff.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's why they're talking about when Trump. I want to say it was Trump got in office. They're talking about getting rid of Sesame Street because he wanted to get rid of public broadcasting. He said, why should our tax dollars pay for public broadcasting? Because we need a loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter.
Yeah.
A loaf of bread. You don't know what that is?
No.
Yeah. You remember that?
No.
Well, it's on Sesame Street.
Really?
So it's a little black girl and her mom. It's a sketch.
Uh-huh.
And the little girl, she said, I need you to go to the store. Now, mind you, the girl's about 5.
Right.
I need you to go to the store
Uh-huh.
and buy me a loaf of bread,
Uh-huh.
a container of milk, and a stick of butter. You gonna remember? She said, I'm gonna remember, Mommy. So she's walking down the street. A loaf of bread,
This is vaguely
and a stick of butter.
Now don't forget, a loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. If you can't remember, I'll write it down for you.
That's okay, Mommy. I won't forget. I remember.
A loaf of bread, container of milk, and a stick of butter. And then she gets to the store, she goes, a loaf of bread, container of milk, and...
She forgot.
I don't remember. Do you remember? And then it shows her mom. A loaf of bread, a container of milk, and a stick of butter. And a stick of butter.
Mm.
And she brought it home.
Right.
This is the part that gets me.
What?
Little girl's about 5.
Right.
Going to the store by herself.
I did.
We did.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that now.
I know. I had this conversation a couple days ago.
Yeah.
My mom on Saturday or Sunday would say, I need to go to the store, get some flour, get some milk, whatever.
Yeah.
Give me money, go to the street, go get
Yeah.
it. No matter how far it was.
Right. Right.
And if you get it wrong, I'm going back out there again.
You go back to the store again.
Right.
You got to go back to the store, take this receipt with you.
Yep. Yep.
Get your money back.
God.
Take this receipt with you.
Yes.
And exchange this.
I said buttermilk.
Right.
And you're like...
You brought condensed milk.
Right.
Or
No,
just
back
regular
to
milk.
Right. Like, oh, geez.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I walked to school by
Latchkey.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't even a latchkey kid.
I was.
But I walked to school at 5. Kindergarten, walked to school. Me and my car. Me and my cousin on the corner. I walked down the street. Me and my cousin on the corner. We walked to school. Kindergarten. By ourselves.
I didn't go to kindergarten by myself. Linda took me, my sister. But first grade, my mom walked me to their class one time.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
So mine was kindergarten. One time. That was it.
Yep.
You knew
that
it
was on me.
It was on you.
And you had the crossing guard who you became friends with.
Exactly. Well, I never became friends with them. They were snitches.
Oh.
They was school.
You was bad then?
I was kindergarten. I was bad.
Jesus Christ.
Because the kids used to be the crossing guard.
No, we had
No, we had kids.
we had the old people.
No, we had kids. Yeah. And we only had one. They only crossed the crossing guard was only for one street to the school. Now I might have walked 3 blocks.
Right.
To school. There ain't no crossing guard. Why am I listen to you? I didn't walk all these. I know how the hell to cross a damn street at kindergarten at 5. No, you have to walk through.
I can see that you was bad.
How about you kiss my ass and I run up the street and cross where?
Unnecessary.
Right, I was.
Yeah.
I was. Dwayne, you need. Why? You wasn't here when I was down the street. and them cars was running the stop sign.
Right.
When I had to left, and make sure. Why I need you now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's go back to the spanking scenario.
Exactly. I need a lot of whoopings. All right, next page. So we got to run through this. We're going through this thing. Our civil liberties are being excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. I strongly agree. Strongly agree. And it's all about the Republicans. Them motherfuckers. Every goddamn... See, here's the thing. They always do, and maybe that's why I go more Democratic because of social reasons. But I'm just speaking from my experience, from my era. I don't know what happened prior. But I do know, after 9/11, when they was like, we're going to tap everybody's goddamn phone,
right.
America said, yay!
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Crazy as hell.
Mm-hmm. Paranoid. I'm willing to forego freedom.
Right.
Because I'm scared.
Because of my safety.
Right.
When even we talked about it, we didn't talk about Reagan, we talked about California anyway. But anyway, when Reagan, why California has the highest or the strictest gun laws was done by Ronald Reagan, who was a Republican because of the Black Panther Party. Because white folks were scared. Give up our liberties. We don't want these niggas having guns.
Right.
Or we'll be a safer country if these niggas don't have guns. But it seems like this conservative party is the one that restricts us the most, even though they talk about, free market, but they put more restrictions on us and keep us more tied to the government.
Hence the term conservative.
I don't look at conservative as being controlled. That's the problem. Well, they always talk about, this cancel culture. That's a liberal thing.
Yeah, it is.
But the cancel culture, again, in my opinion, is free.
Is what?
It's free.
Really?
Yes.
Even though they're saying that you can't do something?
What they're saying is you can't be an asshole.
By their feelings.
If you want to be hateful, then we going back and then we back it up again.
Yeah.
If you're going to be hateful, I can say, I don't like XYZ.
Right.
I wouldn't get canceled for that. But if I say I hate XYZ, I need to be canceled.
Well, that's not freedom. Freedom of speech is the freedom to say what you want.
You can say what you want in your house.
You should be able to say what you want. I mean,
you can say it on the street.
I'm playing devil's advocate here.
So I get it. I get it.
Right.
But again, their platform is that we allow free speech but our platform is for everybody. We don't want no hate crimes. We don't want no. So if you want to go and scream it in the neighborhood and shoot your gun in the air and you can go to jail. Right. But I don't think cancel culture is a bad thing. Anyway, that is such a bubbling subject with the cancel culture because we don't really even know what it is.
Right.
Really, we don't.
It's still finding something.
Right. It's like hugging soap. Soap bubbles. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love cancel culture.
Right.
Or I hate cancel. I'm gonna strangle it.
Right.
You're not gonna get anywhere.
Right.
You know, because
it's still evolving.
Right.
It's still a fetus.
Yeah. It's still it's still a person. A significant advantage of a one-party state. I'm not even going to read the rest of that. I strongly disagree. Okay, I'm going to read it anyway. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the arguments that delay progress in a democratic political system. I strongly disagree. That's just whatever it is. It's communism. Although the electronic age makes official, I think you should have figured it out. I know, right? It was an itch.
Right.
It was an itch. The sign for themselves.
Yeah. It was an itch.
It was an itch. We're never going to get to this. It'll be like 3 hours. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers need to be worried. Right. That's why I disagree. Right. Because albeit I may not be a wrongdoer, I don't need you looking at me.
Right. I
don't need you looking at me. I'm not going to strongly disagree, but I do disagree. And it's one of the things where even with the new mayoral election for Atlanta, actually the guy that won, I forget his name, the board's later ratings. Anyway, I forget his name. He talked about putting up more surveillance cameras. They say England is the most surveillance country in the world. They have cameras everywhere.
How do you feel about that?
I disagree with that.
In the public?
I disagree with it it doesn't curtail crime. Here's the thing. The person who want to commit a crime, they are very aware that those cameras are there.
Yeah.
It's not going to stop them from committing a crime. You know who stops committing a crime? Me and you. The ones who really ain't going to do shit no way.
Right.
We might be like, oh, I might want to steal this box of tax. Shit might be a camera. Well, you lost money. That's all it's doing.
The better the economy, the less crime. But it's always going to be crime. It's never going to go away.
Right.
Because some people just aren't content with any situation.
Right. The death penalty should be an option for the most serious crime. I'm not an advocate of the death penalty, but I understand the death penalty. I'm going to disagree. I'm just going to anywhere with that. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded.
Wow.
Why would they even put that on?
Because they want to know how you feel.
It's strongly disagreed. And you and I had this discussion. We talked about capitalism and why. Yeah, make sure we still run. And why some say it's not a good thing. I'm a believer in capitalism. I do believe there are some people, and I'm gonna include myself as one of those people, who don't have the balls to be an entrepreneur. I like the security to get my check every damn day, every 2 weeks. I like that security. I hit that clock, boop. As soon as I hit that clock, I'm getting paid right now. Shout it. And as trying to be an entrepreneur, I know what it felt like when you don't know if your money comes, but you still pay.
Yeah.
You still paying out.
You still got bills to pay.
You got bills to pay, and you got employees to pay, and you got product to pay for, and you got whatever your business may be, and you still saying, "I hope I get a paycheck." Right. So that's why I agree with capitalism. Now, again, we do have the corporations who kind of monopolize stuff, which our government has done a fair share, and at some points done an unfair share at controlling monopolies. But yeah, but I'm about capitalism and free capitalism, free trade, whatever. But he says it seems like one should obey. No, hell no. Who'd you wonder? Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art.
That sounds like the father in the art gallery.
I'm saying, like, what the hell is that?
What the hell is that?
He just threw some paint on the damn wall.
I could do that. Right.
Well, you can.
Right.
Do it.
Yeah, right, we'll do it. See how hard it is.
Or,
right? Or easy.
See if it sells.
Maybe you're a savant.
Right. So, I strongly disagree with that. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. I strongly disagree with that. What the hell? That's a dumbass question, too. It is a waste of time to try to rehabilitate some criminal. I'm still going to disagree. Maybe not strongly disagree, but I'm going to disagree. Everybody has two sides to themselves. No one is all bad or all good.
Right.
We may swing, the pendulum may swing. Actually, the pendulum swings even. Why do we use that? The pendulum may swing, because the pendulum swings even.
But it says some criminals.
Right. No, I'm saying, but I say that there are no such things, because all criminals are some good and some bad. There are no criminals that's all bad.
Right.
Because they're human.
Right.
But I say, I'll go back to the pendulum. Why do we use that? Which way the pendulum swings? The pendulum swings even both ways, doesn't it? It's like it's supposed to.
It's supposed to.
Right. If it's swinging more this way than the other way, that shit broke.
Yes.
Anyway.
Ain't a pendulum.
Right. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. I disagree.
Ooh, which one would agree with that?
He would agree.
Oh, he's the business person. I'm the artist.
But he's all. Without the artist, there's no business. Right. I don't care if you make it steel.
Right.
There's an art to that. Mothers may have careers, but their first duty is to be homemakers. I strongly disagree. Listen,
that's sexist.
I know it's hell. Ladies, I'm all about equal opportunity. But if you take a job to say you lift 50 goddamn pounds and your ass don't want to lift it, check yourself. Pick up them goddamn 50 pounds.
Jobs only for anybody. But there's some skinny men who can't lift 50 pounds.
That part too.
Right.
Nigga pick it. But who's going to look at that skinny man and be like, when he say, I can't lift it 50 pounds, be like, I'll do it for you, bro.
Right.
Nobody.
Right.
So if you say you shouldn't be barefoot and pregnant, which again, I agree, you shouldn't be barefoot and pregnant.
Right.
People go figure that out. Sure. Multinational companies are unethically exploiting the plant genetic resources of developing countries. Again, can I get an NA?
I'll say I agree.
I'm not going. I don't know if I agree. I don't know if I disagree. So exploiting the plant genetic resources of developing countries,
like they make tires,
right,
out of Africa,
right,
go to Africa and get the supplies needed to make tires for Goodyear,
right.
And
well, because they have rubber trees there. They don't have
right.
rubber trees in America,
right? So Africa's broke. Goodyear is a multi-billion dollar company.
but are they really exploiting Africa?
Well, one would say, the businessman would say, yeah, I gave you a shitty deal. You didn't have to sign it.
Right.
But you signed it, so case Sarah. Right?
And they have rubber trees. Rubber tree is a real thing, right? That's why they...
I don't know how they make rubber for the tires. I don't know.
But they say it's a rubber tree. You know, if you skin the bark off, you got tread and everything on that bitch. Tires just pop out that one though. All you do is get to the core, boop, got a tire.
You know, they're making like run flat tires.
I know, right? This is hard. There are no flat tires, so they have this rubber, but there's no inner tube. So if you take just take the tread of the tire,
right,
and then you fill it with rubber, but then slits of rubber,
okay.
So it can mash.
So it's never flat.
Never flat. Oh. So you can run over shit. It'll compress.
So that's the future.
It'll pop back up. Yes, it's hard. It's hard. Astrology actually explains many things.
No, it doesn't.
I'm going to strongly disagree with
astrology. What do you mean when you say that?
You know, astrology. The read the
what's
stars,
your
the
sign?
signs.
Oh.
Yeah, right. So that's a sign. You cannot be moral without being religious. Strongly disagree. See, and this is another we can have a conversation on. The reason for religion, really, honestly, this is my opinion. I don't want to say my opinion. I gotta say honestly, my opinion.
Right.
Is that people took natural ethics that we have to have as a society in order for us to survive, and then try to capitalize on it. That's the way I look at it. Mine is bigger than yours. Mine is better than yours. You need to join mine because mine is bigger, better, and stronger than yours.
Right.
But outside of that, the tenets of all of them is the damn same.
Right.
Yeah.
Doing to others as you would have them do to you.
I mean, that's only natural, right?
Right.
Right. I don't want to. Don't punch me in my goddamn face. I won't punch you in your damn face.
Don't steal mine. I won't steal yours.
I won't steal yours. Don't fuck my wife. I won't fuck yours.
Right. Respect.
Don't kill me. I won't kill you. Right. If we go by the 10 Commandments, I mean, goddamn. Honor thy mother and father as your days be long upon earth.
The 10 Commandments are flawed, though. I pulled them up.
But let's use them anyway. You can say they're flawed, but let's use them anyway. And again, I don't know.
Because half of them are really just about worshiping God.
And if you take the first 4 out, we're still good.
Right.
Right. And I think that's where I was going with it, is that the tenets of all of them are still based on those last 6, if you will.
But those are kind of common sense things that we figure out on our own.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. It's just the rest of them wanted to make money out of it.
But the followers would actually believe that. They said, no. You need God to show you the way.
Right. Well, because if you didn't do the first 4, it's impossible to do the last 6.
Right.
Which is stupid as hell. Because the guy ain't stopped me from fucking my neighbor's wife. Even though I may have fucked my neighbor's wife. But I guess if I had God, I wouldn't be looking at my neighbor's wife to want to fuck. Right.
You need God.
I need God. So I'm still going to strongly disagree with that. Charity is better than Social Security as a means of helping the genuine. The genuine disadvantaged.
That means you're relying on people like, when you check out, you want to give $1.
Right.
You're like, nah.
No. Have you ever?
Yes.
I very rarely.
I do most of the time.
I very rarely have ever. Some people are naturally unlucky. Strongly disagree.
I know some people who are unlucky.
No, they're not. They just make bad choices. It's all about
choices.
I don't believe in luck.
You never had a friend who just bad stuff has happened to them, even when they're not even doing something?
Because they put themselves in bad situations.
Really?
Yes. I'm a firm believer that people say, bad luck just follow me or bad stuff just follow me. No, it don't. You put yourself in bad situations.
I can't say that all the time.
All the time.
I don't say that.
All the time.
Because that would be like, there's your actions can predict the future.
No, actions don't predict the future.
Right.
But your attentiveness or your reactions to the present may affect your future.
But there's no guarantees.
No, there aren't.
Right.
But again,
so it means that you can do nothing and still bad stuff happen to you.
If you do nothing, bad stuff is going to happen to
you. But you can't do something and still bad stuff happen.
No, I disagree.
What?
I disagree.
You're saying that? So you're saying if you apply, nothing bad will happen?
I say if you apply, nothing bad will happen.
You know that's not true.
Yeah. You have bad situations. Here's the thing. When we talk about bad stuff, we talking about you got shot or hit by a car or somebody stole your shit or we don't talk about stuff like your mama dying.
I'm talking about like I went out for the football team. Doesn't mean you're gonna get it. I tried as hard as I could.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you're gonna get it.
That's not a bad thing. That you didn't get it.
Depending on the person. Right? Well, let's say
but we talk about
let's say this. Let's say I drive my car. I don't speed. I don't break the law. But then I get hit by someone ran a red light. I didn't do anything wrong.
You did it, but you're not unlucky either.
True. But
here's the thing.
Right.
If you got hit by somebody who ran a red light, how much attention were you paying when they ran a red light? Because obviously you have to be the first car, right?
No, that's
you don't get. I didn't ran some red lights. I hit some motherfuckers. Once or twice a month.
The plot thickens.
Right.
Wow.
Y'all never ran a red light before?
No. Well, yeah, but
I'll give you the whole story about my running a red light. It don't happen once. I was on Piedmont.
Okay.
My boy had a brand new goddamn reggae CD.
Right.
Popped it in. I got blasted. Drunk as fuck. Beer in my lap. Ride.
There it is. There it is.
Ride.
There it is.
Speed.
Right.
Far left lane.
Right.
Homie said red light. I'm like, what? Red light, what? Because I couldn't hear him because music was so loud.
Right.
I looked up. Oh shit, it's a red light.
Right.
I'm flying. I go in the turning lane because I can't stop.
Right.
Go in the turning lane, but I want to go straight. So I turn the turning lane and then go back to go. The turning lane was for the cars that go left.
Right.
LTD pulls out. I'm in my little green Geo. Boom! Hit that nigga all the way across 3 lanes of traffic onto the sidewalk.
Can I answer my question?
What?
That if you're doing right, bad stuff will happen to you.
He wasn't paying attention.
What?
He didn't see my dumb ass.
But Dwayne, you're
flying.
You just said you were flying. Sometimes
I was flying.
Sometimes you're put in a situation you can't undo that. You can I'm in the turn.
But he wasn't unlucky.
No,
actually, he was actually rather lucky.
I would say he wasn't. It's not. I'm not.
When I finish the story,
I'm not a proponent of luck. But I'm just
right, I
saying
don't believe it. Right,
that you can do no fault of your
own. Right,
accidents.
But we talking about being luck though. Luck, lucky or unlucky. I don't believe in luck. There's such thing as luck. So you can't be unlucky. But let me finish my story. So I hit this nigga. He was on the side of the road. He got out of the car. Looking at me like, there's a white cat. Nigga. I got out of the car like, because I ain't had no driver's license.
Right.
License suspended.
Right.
I ain't had no insurance on my car. I ain't had no tag. Drunk. Beer in my lap. Spilled all over me. White folks, them niggas, call the police. Call the police. Because we was up. I say Piedmont, but it might have been Peachtree. You know, we was up in the white neighborhood. You know, Buckhead area. Called police. I was like, damn, we gonna hang around. He was like, we ain't got no choice. Hung around. The cop came up and was like, so what happened? I ran the red light. I hit it. What? I ran the red light and I hit it. You got a license? Nope. You got insurance? Nope. He said, is your car running? I said, yep. Let's go. Beer, I'm full of beer all over me. Wet beer.
Just go home.
Go home. My hood. I had to drive looking over the hood of my car because it was like this.
Yeah, is that not lucky?
That hands down would be lucky.
That counters your whole argument.
But again, I don't believe in luck. I just believe in situations. Again, I was prepared to go to jail.
That is pure
I was
luck.
prepared to go to jail.
Yeah.
Prepared to go to jail like I'm going to jail.
So, I mean, it sounds like luck happens.
This is how crazy this
Some
shit.
people are naturally unlucky. Agree. I agree.
So the crazy part was he gave me a ticket though.
Okay.
I get a call from the county asking if I heard from the dude that I hit.
Right.
And I was like, nah. I ain't heard nothing from him. They was like, well, he's a convicted felon on parole, and the car he was driving was stolen.
That's how you got out of it. That right there.
No, I should have still went to jail.
Yeah.
They called me weeks later. Weeks later. Because the white dude, he was just like, the cop didn't ask me no questions. He's like, you okay? He's like, I'm fine. Can you drive the car? I can drive it. I don't know if it's luck.
That's cool. I would call it luck.
I call it. They say luck is what it say. Luck. There's such thing as luck is being prepared for a situation when you don't have one or when it occurs.
Well, you always wasn't prepared for nothing. You still got luck.
Whatever. I guess it's my life too. Yeah. So I guess I'll have to disagree. I still strongly disagree. There's such thing as luck.
Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity.
There it is. There it is. I was prepared to go to jail. Opportunity arose, you just didn't do it. I'd have been lucky motherfucker going to jail, wouldn't I? Actually, I was unlucky.
Right.
I didn't go to jail.
You didn't go to jail.
I was prepared to go to jail.
Wow.
It is important that my child's school instills religious values. Strongly disagree. Fuck. Again, nothing against y'all religious motherfuckers.
Because your religion might not be mine.
Right.
That's
Sex
crazy.
outside marriage is usually immoral.
What? Wait, what?
Sex outside of marriage is usually immoral.
Strongly disagree.
Yeah. A same-sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of child adoption. I agree. Strongly agree. I don't think we make people gay.
But do you think if you raise a child in a homosexual environment that it might become an option?
I think that we are made the way we're made, and it makes them just a bit more understanding of same-sex marriage.
Agreed.
It doesn't make them turn gay.
Right. Because I don't believe it's a choice.
Right. I don't think it's a choice either. I didn't wake up one day and say, you know, I don't like women. I went and looked at that dude across the room like,
Right.
Then I looked at Susie. I looked at Jim and was like,
But the Bible says.
But then I looked at Susie and was like,
But the Bible says.
Which one do I want? Do I want
The Bible
Susie?
says I can't want Jim, so I gotta want Jim.
Right. Well,
Right.
yeah. But I never looked at Jim like, I just looked at Susie like,
Right.
right. And the guys that looked at Jim, hey, I apologize. We live in a society where you wasn't allowed to look at him like that.
Right.
You know, you was looking at him. Let me go settle with Susie.
And I truly feel like if you really honestly believe it's a choice, then you might be bisexual. If you had to choose.
Right.
If you had to choose.
If you had to choose. Right.
You're like,
right.
I just followed what they told me to say.
Right.
They told me to do.
Right.
I could have did either one.
Anyone that gives that argument, we've had the discussion.
Right.
So I purposely asked, did you choose?
Right.
Did you look at a whatever and say, nah?
Right.
All of them answered, I never even considered it. Exactly.
Right.
Because it wasn't a choice.
Right.
You were built that way. Just like they were built.
That's what they're attracted to.
This is what they're attracted to. Attraction is a wonderful thing. This ain't yours, who cares?
Right.
I don't like red. I like red when I wear it, but my favorite color is blue. I can be mad at a nigga that want to wear red every day. Or my friend she would only wear green.
Right.
That's what she like.
What you like?
Yeah. Rock out your green, girl. Pornography depicting consenting adults should be legal for the adult population. Strongly agree. We haven't talked about it. We opened it up talking about Rosebud. What goes in a private bedroom between consenting adults is no business of the state. Strongly agree. Get your ass out my room.
Talk about full circle.
I know, right? No one can feel naturally homosexual. I strongly disagree. Strongly disagree. These days, openness about sex has gone too far. And I'm going to disagree. I'm going to strongly disagree. One of the things, the problem that we have is that we're too closed about sex. You do realize there are countries where nude beaches are normal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you look at European TV, their commercials have nudity in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's America that's stupid and crazy. So what's my political compass? It says I don't know. It says about the political compass. The starting point of blah, 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 blah. So what am I? Authoritarian? Libertarian? I don't know. Okay, so what am I? I did all these.
You gotta scroll down.
Yeah, I'm scrolling.
So you get to your political.
I'm a social libertarian authoritarian.
Yeah, I'm on the left, libertarian.
Yeah, I'm on the left, left libertarian. Yeah, me too. Bottom left.
Mm-hmm.
I guess y'all can't see what the hell we're looking at. So the top right is right authoritarian.
Yeah.
Top left is left authoritarian.
Oh, we did it.
We did it.
So we're libertarians, huh?
Oh yeah. I'm a left swinging libertarian.
All right.
Yeah. I do say I don't use libertarian because it's such a weak party in America. It should be stronger.
Yeah.
It should be a lot stronger.
We gotta defend our party.
What is it? Ross Perot ran as a libertarian.
Perot.
Yeah, Ross
I
Perot.
forgot all about him.
Yeah.
Is he still with us? Is he still alive?
I don't know. Yeah, I think he's dead.
He was old back then.
Mm-hmm.
He's still alive.
He's about 100. But yeah, since Ross Perot, we ain't had a good libertarian since. And not that I even really agreed with him so much. There was someone else that was a libertarian that was kind of vibing. I forget that. Because they come and go like the wind. But I think we need another party in America.
He died 2 years ago.
Yeah. We need another party. We do need the Libertarian Party to build up and be stronger. Because this Democrat, Republican bullshit is bullshit.
He died a Republican.
He just tried to be like, oh, you know what? I just want to make sure I make all of my money. Looking like a Ferengi.
Mm-hmm.
With them ears. Look like goddamn Ferengi.
And people underestimate appearance. It helps, not just you, if you're. It was just so surprising that Trump got in office, but Trump looks pretty.
No, Trump was blonde and blue. Look who he's running against.
Okay, that's right.
Everybody was brown.
Yeah.
He was blonde and blue.
Even though he bought his skin tone. Because he was always orange.
Yeah, but he's blonde and blue.
Yeah.
He's got blonde hair and blue eyes, which you paid for too. He dyed his hair, but he didn't dye his eyes. And he was white. I mean, you could say, well, obviously they don't want a Bush because that's just more like, oh, another Bush, or a third Bush. Fuck that. And if you look at everybody else, when you had I can't remember all the goddamn names of the niggas. Tom Cruise. You gotta watch. Have you ever watched my cartoon president?
No, I've seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah. Tom Cruise. He's on every episode.
Really? Is it good?
No, it's stupid. It's a cartoon. But Tom Cruise like, Tom Cruise!
I don't even know what that means.
That's his name!
So he's just screaming out his own name? Why? Oh,
he has to interject himself in everything.
Why do they always attack Tom Cruise?
You know, because he's Puerto Rican or Mexican or something.
Tom Cruise?
Yes. He's Spanish shit. Yeah.
Hold on. So you're saying that's why they're attacking him?
I guess. That's what I'm saying.
Not because of Scientology or anything else, it's because he's Mexican.
Oh, no, I said Tom Cruise, not Tom Cruise. What the hell?
That's why I'm like, what are you talking about?
Ain't his name Tom Cruise?
It's about
Ted Cruz, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'm done.
And on that note.
No, we're going to keep rolling. Yeah, Ted Cruz.
We'll see you next episode.
Ted Cruz!